So, where we had last left off, you guys had an extended conversation about what's going on, or who you guys need to take out to stop Isabel and her thing, how you're going to get a few of the remaining factions on your side, or undermine the ones that you don't think you can. Cormac is going to try to deal with Miguel and figure out a weakness to him, while Nostroy wants to deal with the burn-faced captain. Did I give him a name? Does anyone remember if I gave him a name?
I don't think he has a name.
Cool. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I gave him a name last episode. Sometimes I don't name characters, and it's always a problem. They never don't show back up. It's bad. It's very bad. Lena's going to talk with the Explorers Guild, and Sigrithur wants to talk to the cultist Falche, so... But before all that, in the next couple of days, as you guys are making your plans and discussing amongst yourselves on how to best take down these things and hammering out the details, Jean-Luc asked Sigrithur to go on a walk with him for him to try to destabilize the runes that are keeping the giant hellhole rip in the sky stabilized. And he's been working on this since basically you guys have been captured and then escaped. Like, he's been pretty consistently working on it. And it is not getting bigger, but it is also not getting smaller. So Sigrithur and Jean-Luc are out on one of the parapets as she is playing bodyguard for this better looking, but still not, muscular wisp of a man. Thank you for taking me out here again. I appreciate it.
But that's not the problem.
Yeah, I don't really, want to be jumped and murdered in the streets, and the gang war's been getting pretty bad, or whatever you want to call it, the city guard versus royal guard.
So is there anything you need me to do besides just be bodyguard?
Do you know how to do portal magic?
Not portal magic, but I do know runes.
Oh, that's... Well, I mean, you can look at this thing. He points you at, this, carving in the rock.
I'm gonna look at the thing.
Make me a roll.
Look real good.
I'm looking for Arcana, and that's not in this system.
Are you rolling scholarship again? Feels like a scholarship roll.
Scholarship with wits?
Yeah, I'd say scholarship with wits.
Have I done one of those this arc?
You have.
I have. Good.
Hence the again.
Would it be alright if he got advantage on this roll?
Because he's good at it.
I'm going to say no.
I do have the linguist feat, which means I can read any written language. Does that help?
I don't know if I consider written rune, magic runes, a language, so to speak.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where it's like a pin diagram for engineering is technically a language, sort of, but also not.
Is this easier because of my size?
Yes, obviously.
Because your eyeballs are bigger.
Okay, I'll just roll my 3 dice. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's one of my advantages. Is large. Gain a bonus die on any risk that is easier due to your size. Well, I got 1 raise with a die left over.
Cool. I'm not going to buy that one because you have a lot of points. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did buy something for me last time.
So looking at this, it is... You notice telltale signs of it being something of Porte. It has that faint glowing red that you associate with the rips that you've seen Jean-Luc do pretty consistently since you've known him. In addition to the giant rip in the sky, it seems to be the same red. There seems to be a smear of blood over it, which is how Sorcerers of Porte magic is cast frequently. And it is not a runic symbol that you are familiar with. It looks more of a channel of power and less like a magic rune, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, I'm not trying to be pedantic with that. It's just something... I'm trying to say it's a different magic than your runes.
And, that's what I expected, but gotta try.
Hey, no, it was worth a shot.
I don't think I can do anything with this. It's very different than the runes I know, and it doesn't seem... It's basically your magic, not mine, but it is worth taking a look.
Hey, and the help is appreciated. I have been doing this for months, and it's not getting smaller. He yells at the sky. But I digress. I think someone is working against me. I don't know who. If I did, I would have you kill them. So if you see someone who's not me doing something here, you can kill them. That would be helpful. That would be very nice. I would buy you a drink and not one of the weird teleporting ones.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Maybe I can get you one of the whiz-bang ones. Maybe they give you fire or something. I didn't brew them. Did you know portal magic can do weird stuff, like let you breathe fire if you make alcohol out of it?
I did not know that one specifically, but I'm not surprised.
Right? It's just weird. Doesn't make sense. Magic. Sorry, I'm very tired. Anyway, what's next for you, Sigrithur? Assuming we win this whole thing, are you where does the mighty honor-bound Sigrithur wind up?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
I mean, you have to have something you're aiming for. What is the end of the great tale of Sigrithur featuring Cormac O'Rourke?
Oh, I think I've heard of him.
Maybe once or twice. Oh. He's my favorite. He's my favorite actor in the old theater.
Well, we've done a lot of fighting recently, but more to save our own lives and less fighting duels. And I kind of want to get back to that. Challenging someone for the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot more fun to be doing something when the threat of death is not constantly hanging over your head.
Absolutely.
He looks at the sky pointedly again. Looks back down. Definitely. Did you know I used to, study magic? It wasn't just me, hoping for the best and not to die. And that a crazy old man who could burn things scaring me half the time. I do like him and I appreciate what he did, but I am a little scared of him sometimes.
Wait, who's he talking about?
Nostroy.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure I wasn't interpreting that right.
Yeah, no, Nostroy's first interaction with him was, threatening him about, learning a lesson.
Oh, right. That's Nostroy's first interaction with everybody.
I mean, it works. He's memorable.
No regrets.
I mean, it made Jean-Luc turn his life around. He was meant to be a throwaway character to give you information, and Cody, fully Lucy'd him into being part of the party. So, you take that as you will.
The full Lucy.
Yeah, he can be a little intense.
And, I feel like I'm in a better spot, but also I am scared for my life a lot of the time, mostly because of the giant hell portal in the sky,
Yeah, I understand that. It is quite literally hanging over our head.
Right, and I don't like it. But here we are, right? So saving the city one last time? Hopefully.
Hopefully this is the last time.
Right, we've been doing it a lot, and I just joined you, and it has been a lot. So you're gonna go be a duelist somewhere, or are you staying here,
I mean, I guess it all...
Because I don't think here's gonna be peaceful, whatever happens, I feel like people are going to be upset.
Yes, and it will also depend on how our little revolution, I guess, goes. Because if it goes perfectly, then maybe I could stay here. But like you say, it might be that my presence, or any of our presences, might be a reminder of the turmoil.
Right, I don't know if we're quite getting away with that, but, I don't think I can go home to Montaigne ever again. So, I mean, if you need to port to somewhere, I guess I can get you somewhere, I guess. If you need help. Well, actually, I can't. I can get you anywhere in the city. So, I'm not good at planning for the future either. I thought I was going to die when I was in the bottom of the bottle, and that part of my life really hasn't changed. So I'm still here thinking I'm going to die, but now I'm not going to die sad about it in the same way. Well, I'm still sad about dying, but you know what I mean.
At least you'll die with your head up and not face down.
Exactly. I'll actually know if I die, I think. Depending on, how consciousness works afterwards. But, it won't be oh, look, I'm so far drunk I don't know if I'm alive or dead. I feel like I'll know now.
At least, I say that, but then I get, the hope is that you don't die at all. At least not for a very, very long time and of old age.
He looks at the Hellmouth again, looks down. Yeah, that's the dream. So he works on the rune for a little bit, and after a while, you guys tour a few of them, and, he tries to power them down, and you notice the glow, like as he does stuff on it, the glow of it gets lessened, but the portal does not really shrink or change in a meaningful way. Flipping over to Cormac. You mentioned that you want to get information about... I don't know if we did this on podcast or not, but you mentioned to me you wanted to get information on Miguel's whereabouts through your orphan spy network.
Yes, I would like to know where he spends his time when he's not at work. And then when I know that, I'll see what else I want to know.
Alrighty. You've been slowly rebuilding your orphan network since you guys have come back from being in prison. It was pretty scattered to the wind, but it was not destroyed, just, like, discarded in a different way. Like, the kids ran off and were fine. So it took time, and greasing palms sounds like the wrong term for children, like, plying with sweets the right children to, like, rebuild it. But it did not take you nearly as long as it took you to initially get it going.
Right. It's been tracking down the people that
right, and you know
before.
which kids were kind of in charge. You know, like, you had, like...
Yeah, I know which ones can, like, find the other ones, and we're willing to take more initiative and
right, so it takes you a little bit to get that reset up, and, you know, you have to pay with more sweets than you typically would, but it's for a worthy cause. So, you give them their marching orders of figuring out what they can about Miguel. How discreet do you want them to be?
I mean, like, discreet enough that they don't get, like, physically caught. You know? Like, if he knows somebody's watching him, but they get more information, I'm okay with that, as long as he's not, like, skewering them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, ideally discreet. If not discreet, not caught. So those are my priorities. Okay.
Make me a roll that is... I'm going to say perform, and however you... These are orphans... I'm going to say perform and panache.
Okay.
You're rolling for your spies, is what I'm having you do.
That's cool.
And you get +1 because you have not done perform this arc.
All right. 3 raises and a die left over.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So you send out your orphans, and they are gone for a few days, which does not have you worried, but does have you anxious in the way where you want information immediately, but finding these things and not getting caught takes time.
And, like, learning patterns, you know, like, you can't learn a pattern in a day.
Right, so you probably wait...
I think a week is fine. Like,
well, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think your first reports do come in after a week, and you're able to confirm them with the second report that, like, a different groups that trickle in over the following week. So by 2 weeks from when you first send them out, you've had multiple of them report similar findings.
Okay.
Like double confirming, where it's like, okay, this seems to be a routine that they're picking up on.
Okay.
So where do you spend your time to meet your spy network?
I think since the circus is no more, we have, like, a designated catacombs entrance.
Okay.
And so there's a hidey hole that is the spy room. That's separate from maybe other things.
So you have a spy room, and you walk in and you see one of the spies clearly hiding behind a barrel. Like, toddler level hiding behind a barrel. Looking like they're going to try to surprise you.
Oh, looks like it's just me in here. Guess I'll sit down and wait.
You really can't see me, huh?
Oh, fancy meeting you here. How's it going, Gabe?
Why are you the spy master if you didn't notice me obviously hiding behind a barrel?
Oh, that's why I hire you lot out for. I'm just the mastermind.
Are you? Because you didn't notice the one of us that's on the ceiling and then a kid drops onto you.
Leah, ow.
Hey!
Anyway, as I was saying, that's why I hire you lot. And you're doing great. So, what's the report?
I think we get a raise. 2 cupcakes.
I'll see what I can do.
Each.
I'll see what I can do. I may be magic, but it's not the cupcake variety.
Fine. 1 cupcake, and a cream-filled Danish that we'll split. We want 1 cupcake each, though. That's not negotiable.
Right. I'll see what I can do. You want to put it in a flavor order while you're at it?
Oh, can we? I like the sweet one with the cherry filling. But if we're allowed to like have multiple types, like if you want to mix it, like I like the cherry and the peach together. I think that'd be an interesting combination.
Where'd you think I'm going to get peaches?
You asked if I had a preference.
It was a joke. You know, a thing people do for laughs.
I never joke about payment. You should be a better employer.
Wise employee. All right, now.
We're going to unionize on you, and then you're going to be sorry.
I'll be proud and sorry.
But mostly sorry, hopefully. Because we're going to be so good at it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll be retired by then. Happily retired. And not dealing with you lot. What's the report?
Well, it seems like Mr. Stuffy Pants spends a lot of time at the Duelist Guild.
Oh, all right. Is he dueling?
From what we can tell, he seems to be gambling there, placing a lot of money on bets. And then he comes out drunk.
All right.
Frequently.
Let's see. Does he have a favorite duelist?
I don't know how to read. I hate to break this to you. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, did you see any of the bouts? Is there somebody that he always shows up for, you know?
All of them? A lot of them. He's there, like, a long time.
Okay.
Like, they have their little stage tourneys, like, nightly, and he's, like, there for, like, most of it.
All right.
And I can't read the brackets, like, it's
I didn't know if you saw him cheering for a specific person.
And then some circles, and then some other squiggles, a few lines.
Right, yeah, I was just wondering if you saw...
Oh, this might be helpful. I think there were 2 separate words for their name.
Yeah, that's pretty common, actually. I was wondering if you heard him yell somebody's name, or perhaps saw...
He yelled
Could you tell who he was cheering for from that?
Absolutely not.
Great.
We were trying to say, like, hidden and not seen.
Okay.
And the Duelist Guild doesn't really like children around.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, it's... The fact that we got in there and could see that he was gambling was, I think, you know, earns 2 cupcakes each.
Well, we'll have to scratch off the Danish then.
I mean, the cupcakes are better than the Danish. Like, the flakiness is good, but...
It's unique. Can't get that everywhere. All right, so Duelist Guild...
I can't get cupcakes anywhere either. That's why I work for you.
All right, so Duelist Guild, gambling, drinking. Anything else?
I mean, he spends some time at home. He has a wife and a baby.
Oh, the baby's been born. Well, congrats to them.
I guess. I don't know. It seems to cry a lot.
You did too as a baby. I can guarantee it.
Sure.
I know these things. I'm older and wiser than you.
Yet you still got dropped on by Leah.
And I know how to pick employees. So, anything else?
Is there anything else you want to know? Like,
I was trying to find out, like, if he backs somebody in particular.
They don't know that.
Oh, if there's a specific, is he there every day? Or if there's, like, specific days that he goes or doesn't go. That would be useful to know.
Yeah, he's not there every day. They give you a list of the days he's there and not. I'm not going to make it. Like,
no, that's fine.
It's not, I will say, it's not, like, important kind of thing.
No, it's just, like, I would want to know that I can go at a certain time and he would be there.
Yeah, they give you the times he's typically there, and they also mention that there is some variation to it. Like, it is consistent, but there is some inconsistency to it. So, like, for example, like, at work, I typically go to lunch at, like, 1 o'clock, I do not every day on the dot leave for work at 1 o'clock, you know?
Okay.
That kind of thing. You know, like.
But I have a general idea
Yeah.
of when I could find him there. Okay. How's his house doing? Is he gambling away all of his money? All the family money? I guess, are things falling into disrepair while he's at this?
It looks nice. Things are watered.
They haven't laid off any servants?
Not that I've noticed it. I mean, it's been a week. It's been a week.
All right. I didn't know if you talked to anybody.
You said not get caught, and I think talking to his household staff would get us caught.
All right. That's fine.
I don't think he is looking to share secrets about what he is doing with us common rabble.
Got it. All right. Good work, everybody.
Anything else you need us to find out?
I would say keep general tabs on him, and I will take it from here.
All right, we can do that. So as I said, you know, like other kids throughout the week come in and give you reports of similar. You basically pile together all that information over the course of a bunch of reports. You know, maybe they didn't. That one kid didn't give you everything you learned, but
I got it.
All right, Lena, how you feeling with all your wounds? How you doing?
How many weeks has it been now?
I think we're probably at week 3 from being stabbed, so, you know, you probably only have one major wound remaining.
Then, I guess, better than I have been. Probably still pretty sore.
What has her life looked like in the catacombs while she's been recovering from this wound?
So, I kind of think, and like, so we kind of talked about this, I believe, off mic, but I think that, like, recovering from something like a gunshot wound normally would take much longer. Magic speeds it up, but also you kind of have to, like, you're healing. You know, you're still healing. So it's a lot of, like, I think the first 2 weeks were kind of like being in and out of consciousness. Able to have a conversation here or there, but, like, really she has not been leaving her room and has basically been, and I would say probably by the rest of the group, been put on bed rest to be like, don't mess yourself up any more than you already have.
Yeah, Cormac's sick of doing bandages. No more moving.
Right. And then probably within this last week, it's probably like when you're getting off of like a really bad cold or like a really bad injury where it's like, she's probably like walking around the room because she was a city guard. She's probably like getting back into like stretches, but fully aware she's like not being able to do everything up to like 100% yet. And probably like trying to get into like back into her normal routine. But I think enough people have been like, go, stop it. We've got it for a little bit longer. Like you're clearly not back up to it. Like I think like you can tell she's got like a little bit of like gray or green when she's walking, like she's still feeling it. And so she's attempting to do her job, but no one's letting her.
Yeah, I think with that specifically, so you try to go back and like start managing the guard, and Catalina's there, and she's like specifically is like, no, go to bed. This is not a request. In a way that is like brokers no discussion and shows her being a little bit more forceful with you, like not in a mean way, but in a I'm stepping up way.
Well, and I think it's like, again, because it's like a healing thing. If she moved too much, she would feel like either passing out or throwing up. So it's like she gets right to that point of like, oh, I can do something. And then it's like, oh, nope, can't do that. Nope. Mm-hmm. And so there's very little argument coming from her, even though there usually would be.
So as you heal, this is a more, like, as you said, it's taking its time, and it's a more new process because you've been wounded before. You've been hurt pretty badly before in your adventures, but never before have you used magic to do it. And you're like, all right, this is going to be great. I'll heal faster. And then you're like, well, it is faster, but it's still terrible, as you said. And as you, like, check your stomach wound, you notice that the magic isn't fading even when the soreness is. So you still have these, like, veins of magic flowing through your stomach and like covering where the bullet hole was. But instead of it like scabbing over and falling and being a scar, you have like this glowing orange, fiery magic that just sits there. And you poke some of like the edges of it to see like, is this still tender? Is it healing? And parts of it feel fully healed, you know, like the upper parts, you know, the further away from the wound, where you're like, oh, like, but it's still just the same amount of glowing intensity.
All right, I guess I'm going to have to talk to Nostroy about that at some point. Like, does this ever go away? And I think she, like, this is probably towards, like, the end of that third week where she's at least being able, like, walking is not as bad as it has been. So she's getting, like, bandaged up for the day and doing her stretches to get back into everything.
Yeah, so after this time, you know, towards the end of the third week, you're feeling a little bit better. You don't feel flushed walking around, and you're getting a little bit stir crazy where even if it hurts, you're like, well, I'm pushing through, I'm going to do some stuff. And if they're not going to let me be running the old things, I'm going to go talk to the Explorers Guild. We need to get that done. They can't stop me if they don't know I'm doing it.
I think what it is like she goes in and she is like gonna start retaking over her guard work, and Catalina's probably like, no. And it's like, okay, look, I've got to do something. I'm almost all the way back up. I understand if you don't want me to completely take over again just yet, but look, we were just talking about going and getting some of these other factions on our side. Let me go talk to the Explorers Guild. That's just talking. I just have to walk and talk. I don't have to defend myself, and I'm not going to let them make me defend myself.
Fine, as long as you promise not to get in any fights. Because if you will, I will come and kick your ass afterwards, regardless of how you're feeling.
Gatita, I have no plans. I do not feel good enough to fight. I can be nice. And I think I can be nice here.
Take the amulet with you. Don't look like yourself.
Why would I do that? I thought the whole point of me being a good person to go would be because I've talked with them before.
I meant getting there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't want some town guard being like, I've killed your sister, Miguel. You know, I don't know what they're doing. It's crazy up there.
Lena just like puts her hand out. Okay.
Have a good trip. Don't die. Take the rest of the day off after that.
She rolls her eyes a little bit and salutes.
All right, so you are able to make it through town pretty easily. You know, like you know how to get around town. It is chaotic, but not in a way like you can see where fights are breaking out, and it's pretty easy to avoid if you're not in a rush, which you are not. Sorry, I'm looking up something.
Is it names? Because that's what I'm looking up too.
So going back to the Explorers Guild, it is in the affluent part of town, so that does make it a little bit longer for you to get to avoid things. This is where the town guard have their stronghold. They very much own this part of town, so getting into the Duelist Guild is not Duelist Guild, Explorers Guild takes a little bit more time, but specifically the Duelist Guild is not like being defended by them. It is just in their area of town kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you make your way back here into this building and take off your amulet, take off your disguise, if you actually had one on. That's up to you, but
I think she did, and I think that Magdalena is like smart enough to kind of like swap, because I mean you can just do however you want to look, kind of like swap as she's moving, so it's like it's even more not easy to follow because it's just like a new look every time. Yeah,
you turn a corner and you're a completely different looking person, you know, where it's like, well, where'd she go? It's like, well,
yeah. So I think right as soon as like right before she goes into the Explorers Guild, though, she changes back to herself and walks in. I don't remember if there was like a person in the front or if it was just the guy, but I'll let you set the scene.
I do not remember, but you know.
Yeah.
But you're able to get an audience with Luciano either way. He knows you. He lets you in. He is the same lean man you've seen before, where he has very fair skin and very fair hair. He is Vestin, as I said, which is the place Sigrithur is from. He has his Vestin leathers and furs, but there are splashes of Oratrios' colors still in his outfit. My dear friend Magdalena, welcome back. It has been too long since we've last seen each other.
It had, and I must say, thank you so much thank you, because our previous dealings have worked out very well for my sister, who needed help with her appearance, and it has been very, very helpful, so thank you for making that available for us.
We are happy to help. So, do you have any word on those artifacts that we sent you for from the Cultus Falce?
None at the moment. Our current situation with them has not progressed, but if anything develops, we will let you know.
I appreciate it, but I feel you weren't just here to inform me that you don't have my objects.
No, in fact, there is, I don't know if you can tell, but it feels like there is a new breeze in Oratrios, and the winds might be changing here in a little bit. And I was wondering how the members of the Explorers Guild are feeling about this potential change.
I have lived through a lot of change, as you know, Lena. I have been guildmaster here since before the old Duke, may the prophets rest his soul, passed on and was horribly, and the city was cast into this horrible chaos. And if you look around, I think you'll see that I have done quite well through these changes. The Explorers Guild was not doing well before, and we have capitalized on change before. We were willing to shift with the times. And I think my helping of you shows that I am not opposed to change if it is in my best interest.
Well, the person that I am working for and I are hoping that we can certainly make this profitable and acceptable for the Explorers Guild to stay here in Oratrios. Even better, we are not even necessarily going to ask for the Explorers Guild to openly come out and declare their allegiance. However, we would like to propose a future endeavor, if the Explorers Guild is interested in something like that, where our hope is, with this change of the tides, change in the winds, to bring more people to the table. And if the Explorers Guild is able to maybe stop having magical artifacts available for Catalina and Senor Santiago, there might be a place at that table for someone like yourself or someone you would like to put in place to help make the city more profitable for everyone.
No, I would be lying if I say I wasn't interested. But what are the chances that you come out on top? Not to be rude, but there seem to be two other factions vying for power. What says you can stand against either and both of them?
I would say that subterfuge is a very, very useful tool that we are very good at using. But if that is something that you are not completely comfortable with, again, we're not even necessarily asking for you to come outside of this shop and say, we are no longer supporting Catalina on the throne. We're just asking that maybe for the next little bit, the Explorers Guild maybe does not have magical artifacts that it is willing to present to that Catalina. And if nothing happens and we are not successful, then those magical artifacts suddenly are back in rotation, back to being available again.
So my one concern is, if this is how it is, if you guys fail and I don't throw in my lot with someone else, or I throw in my lot with you guys, and I deny the winning faction use of our artifacts, I feel that I am at a disadvantage.
I think I am confused, and I believe there is a misunderstanding. Could you explain a little bit more, please?
No, I do not mind. Say you guys, I stop selling magical artifacts. I don't give them to anyone but you guys, or just not at all. And then that curries favor with you, right? That would get me in good when you guys win. Let's say, prophet forbid that you guys fail. Say you all die horrible deaths that are unavoidable because destiny has woven you to die by Senor Santiago's hands. Well, I could have benefited myself by giving him the magical artifacts. And I am putting myself on the back foot if you guys are not the victors.
But then if we are the victors and you decided not to back this horse at all, then you're going to lose that seat at the table. This is a pretty neutral stance I'm asking the Explorers Guild to take. That maybe for the next 2 weeks to a month, the magical artifacts are very limiting or not available.
Make me a check.
Yeah.
Give me a tempt, I think. Give me a tempt. And what trait do you think you're using for the finesse?
What's the difference between finesse and resolve?
Resolve is like will, and finesse is like kind of like being more delicate, I think.
I would say right now I'm probably going straight resolve.
Okay, that's fine.
And then could I actually argue, since right now I'm not sweetening the deal with tempt, I could use convince?
I didn't see convince. Yeah, convince is better.
Okay.
I was going to say, I don't know if we've ever used tempt.
I didn't see convince when I scrolled through quickly. Like, I was looking like under like persuade or like something like that.
No, I think that you should have to show a little skin. Go for tempt.
So this is my first time using convince.
Yes.
And okay, right now, do I still have the +1 bonus die to all risk, or am I
You do.
fully okay?
You do.
So perfect.
After this scene, I'm going to say it's gone. Like, after, like...
Yeah.
It can be a week later, but I'm going to say, like, the next thing you're doing, you're back to full health, basically.
Okay. So that's 4 raises.
So he sits there, and he gives you a look, and he does that, like, bobbling his head back and forth like he's weighing different options. So, tell me honestly, do you think you are going to win? Like, I'm not trying, like, this is not we hope to, like, what do you think your chances are? Do you think you win this, or do you think or it's a risky shot?
I think if we were to go in right this second, our odds would be low. That said, we are stacking the deck for us, and the current perception of the people in charge is not good. Public opinion is very, very low. And so I think if we have that behind us, and we knock out a few more legs of the table, we've got a pretty damn good chance.
Alright. I will be in. I will accept this. It seems like you're telling the truth because you didn't sugarcoat where you're at, which means a lot to me. But I will require one thing of you.
There's always a catch.
There's always a catch. I have an artifact that, call it what you will, there's many names, many different things. But I call it the black spot. And what it is you'll have to put a little bit of blood on it. And if you renege on this, if you come to power and I don't get a seat at this table, a curse will fall on you, or basically you're going to die in 7 days. But it only enacts if you breach the contract we are making. No hidden strings, no anything else, and as a show of good faith, I will also put my blood on it, so that if I start selling magic items, I will also die.
Lena doesn't even blink, and immediately, looks down at her hands and goes, "Where does the black spot go?"
Oh, so he pulls out, a little paper with it on it, and you guys are able to slice your hands and do it. So you dribble some blood on it, and the blood hits it and then swirls up as it turns black and goes back onto your palm. And that is there, like it is very visible, but not like bright. It's a black spot kind of thing.
I think as she's doing whatever the like palm slice, signing, signature, whatever like bits, like, thing that has to be done to make the contract, I think she looks directly at him and goes, just so you know, I fully believe in this cause. There is nothing that I will not do to try to make sure that we win.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm excited to have a seat at this table. So he goes over a few other things, like there's a time limit on it where it's not like this is a curse hanging over you for the rest of forever. It's like there's like a month time or an X amount of months. He's like, you have this long to instill me if you guys win, kind of thing. There's like he chants all this stuff and like does the like proper things to make it work. I wish you the best of luck, Lena. I look forward to seeing you win the day. You can lock the door on your way out.
She gives him a salute, leaves, locks the door, and then as soon as she takes a step like outside of the actual place, she changes her face again as she leaves.
Lena changes her face and makes her way back. As the city is still warring and fighting, there is one more ally on the side of Catalina as you guys go forward. Hey Wanderers, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Corsairs of Castille. This game is being run in the 7th Sea 2nd Edition system. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check us out at the Wandering Gamer Network website. We stream on Twitch with the username wandering_gamers, and we're also on Facebook and Instagram. All information about the music used can be found in the episode description. Until next time, wherever you wander, may you find your way home.